Welcome to Vintage Variety. Today I am going to be sharing with you my latest eBay sales. I'm going to show you the items that sold for me on eBay just to give you an idea of the types of items that you can look for to list and sell yourself. This first item is an authentic Pandora ALE white leather double wrap bracelet. This one fits a 7-inch wrist. And I got this a couple of years ago out of either a Goodwill Blue Box or maybe it was an American Thrift box. I don't really remember. And most of the jewelry that I got out of those boxes has already been sold, so this one is pure profit. I listed this one for $25 or best offer. I received an offer for $20 and decided to go ahead and accept it. Usually when I list my items, I list them for enough that I'm getting the value out of them. But I also list them high enough so if I get a decent offer, I can take it and get the item sold. This is a Torrid size 2 high-low blouse, and I only paid $1 for this blouse. I had listed this one for $12 or best offer. It was in really good condition, thought it was a really great looking blouse, and Torrid is a brand that usually sells pretty well for me. I did receive an offer on this blouse and we kind of haggled back and forth, and I ended up taking $8, so I still made a good profit on this one. This is a pair of Chris Madden curtain panels, new in the packaging. If you watched the last content that I did on my eBay sales, you'll know that I also had balances that went with these curtains. I lotted them together and they sold. These were items that I bought quite a few years ago to use in a room in my home, decided not to use them, and they were just taking up space, so I decided to list them. So it just so happens that the person that purchased the balances decided they wanted the panels too. They gave me a reasonable offer of $19 and I accepted. This was a beautiful rose quartz necklace made out of rose quartz chips, and this one came out of a jewelry jar. I had already sold the majority of the items from that jar, already made my money back, so this one was pure profit. I listed this one for $12, and it relisted a few times, but finally it ended up selling for that amount. This was a beautiful Alfred Dunner black sequined short sleeve top. And I thrifted this top for just $1. I listed it for $12. I thought this was a really great item. It would pretty much go with just about anything, and it could really be worn any time of the year. I received an offer on this one of $9, and of course I accepted that amount because at $9 I was still making a profit. These tank tops were new with tags and they didn't cost me anything. These came along with quite a few other things that I've already sold from one of my friend's closet clean out. These are relatively inexpensive. You can usually buy these at Walmart, so I decided to lot them together and list them for $6, and that's what they sold for. These are all vintage clip-on earrings, and a couple of them were signed. All of these came out of things like jewelry bags, Goodwill Blue boxes, and jewelry jars. So these were just laying around. I am trying to downsize on some of my jewelry. Decided to lot all of these together for $22. And this was a great item for me because they did sell. I feel like it was a really good deal, especially for someone that collects or maybe someone that resells. To me, it didn't really matter. I had already made my money back on the bags and jars that I got those out of. I bought these beautiful Morpho butterfly earrings at an antique store, and I only paid $3 for them. I thought that was a great find. I listed these for $12. They are not sterling, they are silver tone, and I thought that was a reasonable price for these, and that's what they sold for. This item I cannot count as profit, but I did want to show it to you guys. This was a hinged clamper Tommy Bahama bracelet. I listed this one for $11. It came from a shop Goodwill lot. And the reason I'm not going to count it as profit is because I have not sold all the items out of that lot, so I haven't really made a profit on it yet. But this one was listed for a while, and I did receive an offer for $8 and went ahead and accepted. This beautiful vintage filigree bracelet is one that came out of a blue box, and I've had this for quite some time. This one was missing the centerpiece, and because I keep spare parts around here from broken jewelry, I was able to repair this. In fact, I think I did content on the repair of this one. This one had only relisted a couple of times. I had listed it for $24 or best offer. I received an offer of $18, and I felt like that was a pretty reasonable offer, so I accepted. Another jewelry lot that I sold was this 12-piece lot of vintage figural brooches. And much like the earrings that I showed you guys earlier, these had came out of jewelry jars, jewelry bags, Goodwill blue boxes, and things like that. So I have quite a few brooches that I have decided to lot together like this. Since these were all figurals, I lotted them into this one grouping. I listed them for $30 and they ended up selling for $25. This was another free to me item that was given to me by one of my friends that was doing a clean out. This was an Atlanta Falcons NFL mascot bobblehead, and I listed this quite a few times. I had listed it, then I kept bringing the price down, but finally I received an offer of $9 for this one and decided to go ahead and accept. So that was $9 of pure profit. This Karen Scott blouse was a hard sell. This one relisted multiple times. Now, this item was another one of my dollar item finds, and that is something that I always try to look for when I go to the smaller local thrift stores. A lot of times they will have items marked down to $1. I finally marked this item down and it ended up selling for $7.50. I have mentioned that some of my personal collection I am downsizing on when it comes to jewelry, but also from my collection of vintage purses. I have quite a few vintage and antique purses, and a lot of them I use in one of my rooms to decorate a wall, but I have way more than I really want to keep or that I need. So I went through my purses, picked out a few of the vintage beaded purses that I wasn't all that attached to, and I decided to list them. This is one of those purses. I bought this quite a few years ago, and I believe back when I bought this one, I only paid around $5 for it. While I listed this one for $12.99 or best offer, I received a very reasonable offer of $10 and went ahead and accepted. Those of you that have watched previous content that I've done on my eBay sales will be very familiar with this item because I've shown it quite a few times. This is a pad knife that was given to me by a friend. In fact, the friend gave me an entire case of them. And I listed these on eBay in multiples. So far, I have sold all of them but one. And I've really made some pretty decent money on these little knives. Like the other ones that I sold, this one also sold for $8. This is another lot that I put together, and all of these were jewelry jar items, and I listed this one as vintage ethnic jewelry lot. It had 3 pieces in it, a really cool ethnic looking necklace, and I really loved the silver tone cuff bracelet. This one I listed for $9, and that's what it ended up selling for. I thrifted this Crown and Ivy peasant blouse for $3. I thought this was a great item, especially to wear during the summertime. So I listed this one for $10.50, buy it now or best offer, and this one didn't stay listed very long. It ended up selling right away. This roll tab sleeve blouse was also a $1 item. I thrifted this one for $1. I originally listed it for I think around $12. It didn't sell. It relisted a few times. I finally listed it at $8 or best offer, buy it now, and that is what it ended up selling for. This necklace was one that I really liked. I was so tempted to keep it. I do have a necklace similar to this that was made by Chico's. This was a vintage cameo charm necklace. It was done in a Victorian revival style. It had lots of really cute charms on it. This one, believe it or not, I only thrifted this for $3.50, which I thought was a great bargain. So I listed this one for $15. It relisted quite a few times, but I didn't lower the price on this one because I felt it was well worth that amount. And finally, it ended up selling for $15. This vintage iridescent necklace was unsigned, but I was able to attribute it to Emmons. This would have originally had a pair of earrings that went with it, and the earrings had the Emmons mark on it. This was a jewelry jar item. I decided that this one was worth at least $12, and that's what I listed it for, $12 or best offer. I got some really low ball offers on this necklace, but finally I ended up getting a $10 offer that I accepted. This beautiful Givenchy necklace was one that I had listed for quite a while. I paid around $5 for this one, so I ended up listing it for $20. It did relist quite a few times, but it finally ended up selling for that price. At the end, I always like to give a total of my sales minus what I spent for the items. So it ended up being a total in sales minus what I spent of $230.50. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, please let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you ring the bell for notifications, you will be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.